Those are the first runs of the morning. There's a mix-up with the batsman. We'll need a TV replay to decide this one. He's not a good judge of a run, is he? Lockhart waiting at the striker's end. Those are the first runs for Lockhart. Hit straight to a fielder. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. There's a mix-up with the batsman. 49, overs are left for Scotland. Carrick to begin a new over. Stopped by Flintoff. There's a mix-up with the batsman. It was very tight, so the umpire's calling for the TV replay. He's not a good judge of a run, is he? Stopped in the covers. Carrick to bowl to Stanger. Hit straight at White. There's a mix-up with the batsman. Direct hit. Lockhart goes for only one. The new batsman won't face for the time being. That's found the gap in the field. Overs are left in the innings.
The fielding restrictions provide the opportunity for attacking batsmen to score some fast early runs.
Goff to begin a new over. Goff continues. That's run away for four. That's the first boundary for Stanger. Stanger is now on strike. He looked as if he was home to me. A cracking stroke. That's the first boundary for Smith. Smith facing. He's worked that into the gap. That's too short, and it's been dispatched before. That takes him into double figures. That over helped the run rate somewhat. Goff to begin a new over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Smith waiting at the striker's end. Hit straight to a fielder. Super wicket keeping. That's the end of the 5th over. Carrick to begin a new over. Carrick to Stanger. I think he was easily back in the crease there. Well, that'll beat the fielder. That was a really confident shot.
What a ripper! The crowd enjoyed that one.
.44 overs are left in the innings. He's worked that into the gap. Trescothick just picks that up inside the rope. There's a mix-up with the batsman. Goff continues. Stanger facing. That's gone high in the air. Stanger has now moved into the 20s. Hit straight at Bourne. I think he was easily back in the crease there. He looked as if he was home to me. Goff, he was back in the attack. Great catch.
That was an important catch. He did very well to hang on.
Patterson facing his first ball. A shot. That's the first boundary for Patterson. That over eased the pressure on the batting team. Carrick to Smith. Oh, that's a really superb shot. Smith moves into double figures with those runs. Carrick to Smith. It looks like the third umpire's being called on this one. Patterson facing. Goff to bowl to Patterson. Very close to the stumps.
Yes, good bowling there. Draw him forward and force him to play.
That's speeding to the boundary. That takes him into double figures. .41 overs are left in the innings. Carrick to begin a new over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Batsmen are looking for three. Trescothick reaches it before it crosses the boundary. There's a mix-up with the batsman. It's straight at Goff. Carrick to bowl to Smith. Carrick at the start of his run-up. Amazing catch.
Great catch. Use the old saying, catches win matches.
So then, that's the end of Smith. That's the end of the 10th over. Goff to begin a new over. That's too short. 4 runs. That was a real textbook shot.
Well, with that timing early in his innings, he'll just gain so much confidence.
That's racing away to the boundary. He watched that onto the bat perfectly.
That was beautifully played. He was well over the top of the ball.
Goff continues. The fielder will cut that off. The batsmen are looking for 2. He's got that one over the infield and away for 4. It's the first boundary for Salmon. 13 runs came from that over for Scotland. Carrick to begin a new over. There it goes. Patterson has now moved into the 20s. There should be some runs here. Picked up on the boundary by Trescothick. Patterson is now facing. Carrick continues. Steered expertly into the gap. .38 overs are left for Scotland. He's worked that into the gap. Collected by Giles. Goff to Salmon. .37 overs are left for Scotland. Here comes the first change in the bowling. Stopped by Hussain. For all the way. A perfectly timed shot for 4.
Yes, that was a lovely shot. He will have enjoyed that one.
It's in the air. Giles only overpitched very slightly. It was punished.
Well played. He got into perfect position for that shot. Head over the ball. Weight going forward.
There it goes. He timed that to perfection.
That was an excellent shot. Very exciting to watch.
There it goes. Patterson really takes advantage of anything over pitch.
That was a perfect straight drive, met with an absolutely straight bat. Demoralising for the bowler.
.16 runs came from that over. Superb shot. Salmon moves into double figures with those runs. Goff continues. Steered expertly into the gap. Fielded by Giles. Patterson facing. Oh, that's a really superb shot. Goff is not impressed.
The batsman took full advantage of the width the bowler gave him there.
It's straight at White. Giles to begin a new over. got that away for what looks like 4 runs. He can enjoy this as he's had to work very hard for it. Patterson has reached his 50 from 26 balls. That's a great shot. Patterson won't miss anything bowled too full.
Lovely shot. It raced away to the fence for 4.
That's 4 more. Giles is not impressed.
He gave the batsman too much room there. 4 runs.
Giles continues. Patterson is now facing. He looked as if he was home to me. 34 overs are left in the innings. Goff to begin a new over. Stopped by Thorpe. Goff continues. That's gone high in the air. He timed that to perfection.
Great shot. That seemed to rocket to the boundary. Yes, go! Waiting, go!
Well taken by Stewart. 33 overs are left in the innings. Giles to begin a new over. Giles to bowl to Patterson. Pushed into the gap. Giles at the start of his run-up. That's rolling towards the fence. It should be 4 runs. Salmon has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. Giles continues. .32 overs are left for Scotland. Goff to bowl the last of his allotted overs. Hit straight to a fielder. Patterson is now facing. The fielder will cut that off. The batsmen are after 2. A very good over. Only 2 offered in the end. Giles to begin a new over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. For all the way. Really looks in fine nick today.
Lovely shot. It raced away to the fence for 4.
Giles at the start of his run-up. That's racing away to the boundary. Picked up very early by Salmon.
That was an excellent shot. Very exciting to watch.
A nice shot, but it won't make it to the boundary. He's going to have to move here. Patterson is now on strike. That's the end of the 20th over. We're about to see a change in the bowling. Hit straight to a fielder. It's in the air. A very good over. Only 1 offered in the end. Salmon waiting at the striker's end. 4. He looks in good form out there.
That was good cricket from the batsman. He placed it, didn't try to hit it too hard.
Great shot by Salmon. Just over-pitched by Giles.
There's a perfect example of how to play that shot. He deserved 4 runs for it.
He's worked that into the gap. The batsmen are coming back for a second. That over cost 10 runs. Patterson is now on strike. Stopped in the covers. Salmon is now facing. The fielder will cut that off. White to bowl to Patterson. Stopped by Goff. White to bowl to Patterson. Giles to bowl to Patterson. Played into the gap. Batsmen are coming back for a third. The fielder will cut that off. Scotland move on to 150. Patterson facing. That's a beautiful shot. Super shot by Patterson.
It was a good shot, but the bowler shouldn't be bowling at him there.
The score is now 3 for 154. The batsman will have to run these. "26 overs are left in the innings. White to begin a new over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Salmon facing. Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. Hit straight to a fielder.
Right.
Hit straight to a fielder. That's the halfway mark. 25 overs. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Four. Giles is not impressed.
Cracking shot. The secret there was that he got his feet into position early and had plenty of time to play the shot.
Salmon facing. Hit straight at Caddick. Giles at the start of his run-up. I think he was easily back in the crease there. looked as if he was home to me. That's cut behind square. Played into the gap. Now he needs to get his head down again and aim for the next landmark. That's 50 for Salmon. White to bowl to Salmon. It's in the air, safely pouched by White.
Well, he just picked the fielder out perfectly with that shot.
Super wicket keeping. Williamson facing. Patterson facing. Steered expertly into the gap. The batsmen are after two. Williamson facing. Those are the first runs for Williamson. Patterson is now facing. That's rolling towards the fence. It should be 4 runs. Giles is not impressed.
He really laid into that delivery. 4 runs all the way.
Oh, that is an excellent shot by Patterson. Really looks in fine nick today.
He played that shot perfectly.
White to begin a new over. Cracking stroke. That's the first boundary for Williamson. White to bowl to Williamson. Stopped by Thorpe. He's worked that into the gap. Patterson waiting at the striker's end. Giles at the start of his run-up. The fielder will be struggling to cut that off. That takes him into the 90s. That's a good shot. That was 4 the moment it left his bat.
He plays that shot really well and it brings him lots of runs.
Stopped by Thorpe. That's the end of the 30th over. That's a great shot. Williamson moves into double figures with those runs. Patterson facing. Turned off his hips. White continues. Williamson is now facing. A nice shot, but it won't make it to the boundary. Oh, he's dropped it. Cut away. We're going to see the off spin of Vaughan. He's worked that into the gap. There it goes. Patterson facing. That could go all the way to the boundary. Crowd are giving him a great round of applause as they appreciate the importance of this knock. That's a century for Patterson. That's 4 more. Picked up very early by Patterson.
He plays that shot really well and it brings him lots of runs.
Go!
13 runs came from that over. Williamson waiting at the striker's end. Well, that's found the gap in the field. Well, that's found the gap in the field. Patterson waiting at the striker's end. Stopped by Golf. Batsmen are after 2. Williamson waiting at the striker's end. "17 overs are left for Scotland. Vaughan to continue with his off spin. That must be close. He's out. Patterson is finally out for 107. The crowd is rising to Patterson.
I don't think he agrees with the umpire's decision.
The next batsman is Wright. Wright takes guard. Just make it to the boundary. That's the first boundary for Wright. He's got it into the gap. "16 overs are left in the innings. White to begin a new over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. He's worked that into the gap. Played into the gap. Batsmen are coming back for 2. He looked as if he was home to me. White to bowl to Wright. Wright moves into double figures with those runs. White continues. Didn't quite get hold of that one properly. Vaughan to continue with his off spin. Cut away. Williamson has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. He's worked that into the gap. Batsmen are looking for 3. The sweeper picks up. Vaughan to Williamson. Play it away with comfort. The batsmen are coming back for a second. Played into the gap. White to begin a new over. A long hop and punish. Super shot by Wright.
That was a nicely timed shot. You don't need to smash the ball to the boundary every time.
White at the start of his run-up. White continues. That's gone high in the air. Wright has moved into the 20s and is starting to look far more relaxed. White at the start of his run-up. That's found the gap in the field. "13 overs are left for Scotland. Vaughan to begin a new over. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. It looked as if he was home to me. Vaughan continues. Vaughan to bowl to Wright. There's a mix-up with the batsman. He looked as if he was home to me. Oh. 12 overs are left for Scotland. We're about to see a change in the bowling. Well, that'll be a long chase for the fielder. He looks in good form out there.
He played that shot to perfection.
Wright is now facing. A nice shot, but it won't make it to the boundary. The batsmen are coming back for 3. Fielded in the deep by Flintoff. There's a mix-up with the batsman. Williamson is now facing. That one's gone to the fence. He picked the length quickly with that one.
Cracking shot. The secret there was that he got his feet into position early and had plenty of time to play the shot.
There it goes.
Go!
11 overs are left in the innings. It's beaten the fielder, but it won't go all the way. I think he was easily back in the crease there. Vaughan at the start of his run-up. It's high in the air. A superb catch from Thorpe. So then, that's the end of White. Brinkley facing his first ball. That's the first runs of the day for Brinkley. The batsmen are looking for two. Great job done by the fielder in the deep. That's the end of the 40th over. There's a change in the bowling for England. Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. There should be some runs here. There's a mix-up with the batsman. He looked as if he was home to me. Flintoff to Brinkley. He looked as if he was home to me.
Yeah. Waiting. Yeah.
Well played, but the fielder will cut that one off. Collected by Knight. I think he was easily back in the crease there. Vaughan to begin a new over. That's rolling towards the fence. It should be 4 runs. He was onto that in a flash.
Really good shot there. Nicely timed and picked the gap perfectly.
Vaughan continues. Out. No, dropped. The fielder will cut that off. Williamson is now on strike. That's beaten the fielder, but it won't go all the way. Oh, that's a really superb shot. Brinkley moves into double figures with those runs. Vaughan continues. That's 4 more. Really struck that well.
It was a good shot, but the bowler shouldn't be bowling at him there.
Eight overs are left in the innings. Flintoff to begin a new over. There it goes. I think he was easily back in the crease there. Truskothic is not going to reach that. Brinkley has now moved into the 20s. Flintoff at the start of his run-up. Up and over and 4 runs. Crowd were brought to their feet by that shot.
That was good cricket from the batsman. He placed it, didn't try to hit it too hard.
So there was 9 off that over. Played into the gap. The batsmen are after 2. Flintoff just picks that up inside the rope. Vaughan to Brinkley. Well, that's found the gap in the field. He's got it into the gap. The batsmen are looking for 2. Great job done by the fielder in the deep. Six overs are left in the innings. Flintoff to begin a new over. He smashed that one right out of the ground. That was 6 all the way.
It doesn't really matter if it goes in the air if you hit it that far.
Flintoff continues. It's in the air and there's a fielder under it. Williamson is finally out for 49.
It took an age to come down. The batsman really skied that one.
That was a fine innings from Williamson. Maiden awaits his first ball. Maiden is off the mark. It's in the air. Pushed into the gap. He's worked that into the gap. Fielded on the boundary by Knight. And that's the end of the 45th over. Vaughan to begin a new over. Comfortably taken, no worries. Maiden goes for only 2.
A slight fumble, but safely taken in the end.
Lane takes guard. Flintoff to begin a new over.
Waiting! Go! Run!
There should be some runs here. Blaine waiting at the striker's end. Scotland have taken their total on to 8 for 321. It's high in the air. That's the first boundary for Blaine. Three overs are left in the innings. We're about to see a change in the bowling. That's gone high in the air. Brinkley won't miss anything bowled 2-4.
What a perfect example of the cover drive. Feet in the right position, hands, watch the ball right onto the bat, perfect follow through.
That's racing away for 4. He was onto that in a flash.
Well, he smashed that for 4 with a big smile on his face.
It's high in the air.
Waiting!
2 overs are left for Scotland. Blaine waiting at the striker's end.
Waiting!
It's high in the air. That came right off the middle of the bat.
Well, he really hit that a long way. Exciting stuff.
There it goes. You can't afford to bowl at him there.
Yes, that was a lovely shot. He will have enjoyed that one.
It's in the air. That went like a rocket to the fence.
He picked that up nicely, and it's got him 4.
Blaine has now moved into the 20s. The batsmen are after 2. Carrick to begin a new over.
Waiting!
Not timed perfectly, but they'll get some runs anyway. Blaine waiting at the striker's end. It's high in the air. That really was a super stroke.
Well, you don't see that shot played much better than that.
Carrick continues. It's high in the air. You really can't afford to pitch short on this track.
Far too short. That got what it deserved.
That's gone high in the air. He had a lot of ground to take that catch. Blaine goes for 28.
Well held by the fielder there. That took a long time to come down.
Short and smash for 4. That's the first boundary for Asim Butt. There it goes. Out. No. Dropped.
What a let-off for the batsman. You'll be hoping to make the most of that.
At the end of the innings, Scotland have scored 9 for 363.
That's a solid total by Scotland. They scored pretty quickly during the innings and rarely became bogged down.
Blaine has the new ball for Scotland, so they need 364 to win from 300 balls. So to sum up then, Scotland win by 28 runs.